Grief is something people can connect to. And that's the story you need to tell.
Hello, Corey and Lorraine. How are you guys doing?
I'm good, Joe. How are you?
Doing great.
I am doing fantastic. This series is phenomenal. It had me watching it. I watched it 2 times. The second time was to see if I can pick up on the clues in previous episodes to kind of figure it out for myself, because everything is there. You just got to pay attention and watch. Lorraine, Catherine Lancaster is absolutely a force. She's elegant, calculating, powerful. What attracted you to the role of the Queen Maker in the publishing world?
She's elegant, calculating, the Queen Maker. She's also vulnerable and petty and vindictive. She's maternal. She's predatorial. She's very complex, very layered, very interesting, and as a woman of color, she sort of embodies so many different women in my past, in my family, in my friendships. She really is a force to be reckoned with, and I come from Amazonian women, and so I'm always I gravitate towards those roles, and I'm familiar with the terrain.
I love that. Now, Corey, I think you can answer this question. Much of Adam's story is told through memories and reflection. Can you talk about the challenges and opportunities of building a characters that the audience gets to know primarily through hindsight?
Yeah, when you shoot any TV series, it's out of order. But this was sort of that times 10, because you could be in the morning shooting something that's 20 years ago, and then shoot something that's like right before his death scene in the afternoon. So it's all completely scrambled. And I think in that circumstance, you just hold on that much more tightly to the script. And we were lucky that this was a very well thought out script, both in terms of the plot points and following the mystery, but also in terms of the emotional reality and the relationship between these characters. It was really well thought out, and I really felt that I could just sort of throw myself into the sides of the scene that I had in front of me, just focus on that. And one great thing about our showrunners, Olivia Milch and Regina Corrado, is that they were so completely open to collaboration. And so if something didn't seem quite right, or if we sort of felt that we were showing our hand too much, or that we were, this was our chance to be able to show this aspect of the character, there was no fight. If we had a good idea, they were 100% for it. And there was a sort of a lack of preciousness about it. And so, it can be challenging to sort of, you can get a little confused as to, what the audience knows when, and, where my character is. But, you could sort of use that script as the North Star, and you'd rarely go wrong.
Yeah, I was told that Olivia and Regina were there every day on set to exactly that, kind of help weave in ideas that would come on set. But usually the script was pretty tight, and it seems like you said, that was the North Star that everybody followed. Now, Lorraine, as Chloe's mentor, Catherine clearly has influence over her professional life. Now, without giving anything away, how do you view their dynamic, and what power shifts might the audience pick up on when they're watching episodes?
Yes, Catherine is Chloe's mentor, but she genuinely loves Chloe. That's her Achilles heel, and so that I'm able to really explore how Catherine loves. She loves very possessively. She's very protective, and she's got an agenda for Chloe, as any sort of uber tiger mom has. And so that anything and anyone that gets in the way of her plans for Chloe and her grooming of Chloe has to go. And Catherine certainly is a formidable enemy. I wouldn't want her on my bad side. And so that relationship is both maternal, it's mentoring, it's dangerous, it's scary, because at any moment Catherine could turn on Chloe. We wouldn't want to see that, but she could. And I don't know if Catherine, going through it, knows if she will or if she won't. I love playing characters where I'm as surprised at who they are and who they turn out to be as they are. And so a lot of that was on the page with Regina and Olivia. That level of complexity is certainly what I always look for.
And the cinematography as well, between the scenes between you and Jessica, like the shifting dynamic, you could see it visually there too. It's absolutely incredible. Now, Corey, your scenes with Maxwell are outstanding. I think Maxwell's such a phenomenal actor, carries so much emotional weight. Can you talk about what it was like crafting that father-son relationship with him?
Yeah, it really sort of emerged from the get-go. I mean, I think, 95% of directing is casting, and they really found just like the perfect guy to play Ethan. It's just soulful, and he just really incapable of giving a false note. And I think that it's when you're working with him, it's impossible not to feel this sense of care and wanting to take care of him, and which I think made my role, as somebody who has this very contentious relationship with it, that much more sort of complex, because that conflict, that anxiety in that relationship is coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of care, but it's just misapplied. And so, I mean, like everything in this show, it was easy. We didn't have to sort of, work ourselves up and, figure out this chemistry. It all just sort of happened naturally.
Well, it comes off on the screen because you guys are phenomenal. Everybody in the show is great. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Kim, Bobby, this show was absolutely incredible. It had me guessing all the way through, and the changing perspectives of what I thought with different characters was incredible. I love this show. Kim, your character is a firecracker and a little bit of a troublemaker. What aspects of her personality did you find the most fun or challenging to bring to life?
That she was a firecracker and a troublemaker. But no, I loved her. I thought she was just completely complicated and three-dimensional. I love that she really loves the job, that she loves the hunt, and that's a really truthful thing about her. And loves the hunt in a good way. She wants to solve the crime and find the perpetrator or what have you. But I like that she had levity to her and deadpan humor. I like that she has a dark past. I like that she's irreverent. I like that she's a shit stirrer. I like that she sort of is sometimes as an audience's surrogate for calling out the sort of entitled richness. I love that. She was such a human being. It was so well written. So
yeah,
was it hard to play? I mean, I wanted to get it right. So, but hard to play, fun. Any challenge of it was creative and fun.
I love the character because I felt like this character was one of the most grounded, all the characters are grounded, but it felt like such a great detective in this story. Now, Bobby, Matt Bowen is ambitious, but he's still finding his footing. Talk to me about Matt balancing his eagerness with the more grounded, methodical qualities of a detective.
I thought it was really fun, actually, the unbalance and not knowing and messing up and trying to prove and going the wrong way or having an instinct and acting on it and getting the good feedback or the bad. I thought all that was great, and I thought it was a great character next to Kim's character, which made it fun to play, and it was just very natural to sink my teeth into it.
Absolutely. Now, Kim, your character is a little bit of a fish out of water in the story. Can you talk about tapping into that outsider perspective while still portraying her as a capable, seasoned investigator?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Regina and Olivia, our writers and showrunners, kind of had me in mind. We'd worked together on Deadwood. And so, they just wanted to lean into that aspect of being a fish out of water, but somebody who had wanted to go move to New York City from the South, go to John Jay College and start there, And so I just, makes sense to me. I mean, I was a Southerner who moved to New York City, so.
There you go. Now, the family dynamic is the core theme of this show. Bobby, how did that emotional undercurrent affect your approach to scenes, even as someone that was an outside of the family looking in?
I think the family dynamic is very universal. And if you have had childhood, most people had some traumatic situations. So just the idea of a family going through this, especially for him being second generation, immigrant parents that moved here from, another part of the world, there's definitely a connection to it. And the father-son relationship, which is universal, he definitely connected to it with his father. It was really rich stuff to delve into.
I love the chemistry between Nancy and Matt throughout the series. I love how they kind of give each other shit a little bit here and there. But can you talk to me? Because from what I understood, you guys didn't have a chemistry read, but that dynamic still shines. How did you develop that salt and pepper partnership on set?
That's what they said. One of the pictures called us Salt and Pepper. Yeah. It's the writing. It's exquisite writing and well-drawn characters on the page. And it's a testament to the producers and the casting directors of imagining, us based on our work and experience that we would, sort of be a nice salt and pepper. And we didn't meet till we were shooting, really. I mean, we met the day before because we did a table read, but it was virtual, and so we just jumped right in. It was there, and Bobby reminded me we had a past together. We had actually worked together on the first season of Fear the Walking Dead, and he reminded me, and then I remembered. But
at one big scene, I said, "Yes, ma'am," and you're like, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah. See,
that was the scene.
And I don't remember
the chemistry in that moment alone.
Yeah, and I've been working on it. One day I'm going to work with Kim Dickens, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So we started our chemistry back then.
I love that. So cool. Bobby, as a performer, what do you think makes this show's mystery feel so personal and urgent for viewers?
The family aspect, the sibling stuff. Again, the writing really captured that. And there are moments in this series where you get goosebumps because of what the character is going through. And I think everyone has had a past with an experience that can connect to the show. And I think that's really, really fresh and exciting.
Now, for both of you, this series explores how well we really know other people that are close to us. As actors, what surprised you the most about your characters as the story unfolded?
For me, it was the dark past for Detective Guidry. That surprised me. I didn't really know that's what was going to happen, and what it was surprised me. But I just went for it. It's not, it's not that palatable, what happened in her past, but we were sort of brave and just went towards it.
How about for you, Bobby?
Something interesting for me was throughout the script, he's much more taking a back seat. You take the lead. And as the script goes along and he's by himself more, he really starts taking initiative, and then he starts sprinting towards something. Now, right or wrong, we won't know. But that was exciting to me because his ambition is actually like flourishing, and who knows if it's a good or a bad thing. But that was exciting because there was a certain intensity that he's now going through and bringing as the character, which I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. It felt nice.
Exactly what you're talking about, but I tried to avoid bringing that up because I didn't want to spoil anything, but I can't wait to see that. Now, the last question I have for you guys, I think Olivia and Regina did such a fantastic job crafting this series. Can you talk about working with them as collaborators on this one?
I was blown away by this whole team. I know they've worked in the past, but they are incredible human beings and amazing artists. And I felt every time they would speak to me that it was about me. And it's not, right? It's about an ensemble. It's about the sisters. But the level of care that they give each person on set, no matter you're an actor or someone else, that I'm eternally grateful for. And now I understand when you talk about them and you've worked in the past, what it feels like. And they were also welcoming into this family. I'm forever grateful.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, I come from Deadwood, where Olivia Milch is David's third child, and Elizabeth Milch is also writing on the show, and Regina Corrado worked on Deadwood with us. So there was a familial element for us that grounded our ways of working and a shorthand and stuff. But the writing and the level of writing to me was perfection. It was some of the phrasing. It'll be a little reminiscent of Deadwood, I think. Some of the phrasing and the way some of the characters speak, and it was so well done that there was not a lot of riffing on it, and they were always on set. If something did need to be nuanced or changed or something, or if something got improvised, they would grab it and fit it in. And so yeah, it's incredible working with them. They're such talents, and they're just so laid back. They're so talented and creative and fun and open. And look, them and all of us mostly, like we work really hard. We worked really hard on the show, but we love the work.
Yeah.
So
it was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure to go and work hard together.
Well, I loved watching the work because you guys did an incredible job. And also just talking about Deadwood makes me want to go and revisit that show because it was one of my favorites. But thank you guys so much. You're incredible in the show. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
What a crazy turn. The world knowing you stole your sister's life.